My name is Profai, and today I'm very happy to be here at St. Patrick's Church in Erie. I'm playing a concert here tonight and wanted to use the opportunity to show you this wonderful Felgemacher organ, which is amazingly soft in sound and has some beautiful flutes in the choir and great division. And yeah, let's start with the great manual and one of the 3 diapasons it's got. So that's the principal 8-foot, coupled to the pedal with the sub-bass. And of course, one principal isn't enough, so we've got a second open diapason. And a first one, which is very strong. And of course, we can combine them to get a very large pleno. There's a 16-foot to give some foundation to that. An octave 4-foot. Super octave 2-foot. And a mixture, of course. If you add the couplers, then you get this. It's incredibly powerful, and that's a lot of fun to play around with and try these different combinations here. So of course we've got some nice string stops as well on this manual, which is a viola. Very nice. A Doppelflöte, which is a flute of course, which is very wide in sound, you will hear that. Beautiful solo stop. There's a 4-foot flute. Can combine these, of course. It's beautiful. Then we've got a quint, which sounds like this on its own. It's supposed to work with principals, so we use the principal. It makes it sound a bit more sour, in my opinion, or like you get more overtones from it. And yeah, that's the flutes and the principals. Of course, we've got some reeds as well. Actually, we've got a trumpet 8-foot. Which is nice. We don't have a 16-foot, but I mean you can use the great 16-foot coupler and get like this. And there's a 4-foot coupler as well. Very strong reeds. And then Heritage Organs, who restored this organ, added a Tuba 8-foot, which is taken from the choir, but is also playable here in the grate. And that's very great. Very impressive, and if you add the trumpet and pull these couplers, it's gonna get loud. Very impressive. We've got chimes on this organ as well, ranging from F to A, I think. I'll just play the middle ones. So these are very nice. And as a small toy stop, we got a Zimbelstern, which is very lively as well. Nice. And if you combine all of these stops, we get a very nice pleno of the great manual. So that's the principles and mixtures, and I will add the trumpets very soon. It's incredible. And yeah, that's a great manual. So let's continue with the Swell division of the organ. We've got a burden 16 foot to start with, which is a nice foundation for everything basically. Which is very nice. We've got a stop diapason 8 foot. It's very nice as well. We've got a flute harmonique 4 foot. If we combine these, we get a nice flute sound. There's a Nasat 2 2/3, which makes it a solo voice. And a terz. You could also add the 2 foot if you like. 2 foot by itself sounds like this. With the 8 foot stop diapason. It sounds like this. Very beautiful and nice to play. We've got some beautiful strings as well. The Eoline, which is probably the softest string on this organ, sounding like this. And if I close the swell, it's barely audible. It's amazing. So the range of the organ ranges from like barely audible to massively loud with the tuba and stuff. And you can add the voix céleste to this Eoline to make it very floaty. There also is a Salicional, which is pretty strong though, sounding like this. I will close as well. Still works pretty well. There's an open diapason 8 foot. And a Violina 4 foot. Which is very nice. So if we combine all of these 8 foot and 16 foot stops, we get a very, very large and wide sound. beautiful. So it's really amazing, and I'm very stunned by this. The violina violina forefoot by itself. It's very principle-like and supports the diapason. There's a cornet, which is pretty soft. Combined with the diapason and the forefoot, it sounds like this. With two-foot, it's pretty usable. Nice. Well, then we've got an oboe, or basson, 8-foot. Which is going to be very beautiful with the tremolo on, which we will hear very soon. There is a cornopian, if that's pronounced correctly, which is a stronger version of that stop. Basically like a trumpet. And then there is a bassoon, 16-foot. Which is nice. And as a last stop, as the last street stop, we've got a vox humana 8-foot. So let's hear what this vox humana sounds like if we pull the tremolo. So as you can hear, you are probably not supposed to use that by itself. So we add some foundation stops and get like something like this. You can also add the couplers. Got this awesome floating singing sound, and it's incredible. The oboe by itself with the tremolo, I'm actually using that in a piece later. Sounds like this, which is incredibly beautiful as well. So let's see. Sings so well, and it's so beautiful. I want to have that at my home organ, so I can play more stuff like that. So, well, let's combine all of these stops to see what the tutti of the swell looks like. I'll leave the trumpets out for now, but we will add them very soon. And then it sounds something like this. We had the 16-foot coupler. It sounds like this. If we had 4-foot, it sounds like this. So that's a very mighty division as well on its own. And imagine what the whole organ sounds like, which we'll hear at the end. But before we do that, we'll check out the choir manual, which is the first manual on this organ. There's a wonderful flute called Melodia, which sounds like this. just beautiful. There's a concert flute 4-foot as well, which is evenly as beautiful. Can combine them. It's amazing. There actually is a nice string as well, the Dulciana. And then there's a Dulciana celeste, which makes it float again, like the bar celeste. Which is amazing as well. So we've got principals. Spitzprinzipal 4-foot. With the 8-foot, it sounds like this. This is a piccolo 2-foot. And a mixture, of course. Which sounds pretty tame, but if you add the 4-foot coupler to that, it gets a lot stronger. We've got a clarinet, which is also very beautiful. So I guess the most beautiful stops are on the choir here, which is nice because you can use that as a great solo accompanied by the Swell, for example. The clarinet. This manual features a tremulant as well, so let's check out that with the tremulant and some accompaniment. Pretty nice. The Melodia with a tremulant. Sorry, that's without. Now we hear it with the tremulant. Combined with the Konzertflöte. And the 2-foot. Which is incredibly beautiful as well. The concert flute by itself sounds like this. Great. And if we combine all of these stops on this manual, we get, there's a tuba as well, but we've heard that earlier, so I will spare you that, but we'll hear it at the end, so don't worry. I've pulled all the stops of the choir, and it sounds like this. If you add these couplers, it gets much stronger. Very nice. Well, now it's time to check out the pedal, which is located here. and we will start with the subbass, the main voice of the organ. We also got the option to choose a burden, which is a bit more round in sound. A 16-foot violon, a 16-foot principal, and then there's a double open diapason 16-foot. So that's quite a selection of 16-foot stops. There's a flute 8-foot, an open diapason 8-foot, and a violoncello 8-foot. Then there's a choral bass 4-foot, which is pretty strong up here. And then we've got some reeds as well. So the bassoon 16-foot, there's a tromba 8-foot, and a mighty trombone 16-foot. Which is incredibly massive and nice and fun to play. And then we've got a resultant 32-foot sounding like this on its own. And if we add all the 16-foot stops, it gets pretty massive. And if we combine all of these stops bit by bit, it's an incredible pedal sound. Well, after hearing that pedal and the wonderful 32-foot resultant, it's time to pull out all of these stops. Preferably with the crescendo to have less work. So I'll use the crescendo pedal and add the reeds bit by bit, which are not included in the pedal. So we'll hear that, and yeah, we're gonna work our way up to the tutti of the organ with tubas and stuff. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, I'm very happy to be here and to show you this instrument, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye, and I hope you enjoy the improvisation at the end.